Respected elders, educationists, language scholars, dear teachers and dearest students, welcome. First of all, it is my kind request that those who have been subscribed channel so far may kindly subscribe it. Dear students, today, that is in this class, we are going to see the uses of the simple past. I have given it under 6 numbers, so 6 main uses of the simple past. Even though I have titled it in this way, actually I am going to give you about 25 uses of the simple past. It is very important. It will be extremely useful and helpful to you to express your actions happened in the past time. To express the past actions, it will be extremely helpful to you. Come, let us see. A grammar, simple past tense, 6 main uses. Video number 90, dated 18/3/23. Uses of the simple past tense. That is, what are the main uses of the simple past? 6 main uses of the simple past tense. That is, here we are going in which ways to express what conditions of the actions happened in the past. We are going to use the simple past. The first one is the simple past tense is used for actions completed in the past at a definite time. That is, the actions completed at a definite time in the past. We can use the simple past to express an action happened at completed at a definite time in the past. We can use the simple past. See, 1. For a past action, when the time is given, the actions happened in the past, we are going to use the simple past tense. First one is, when the time is given, the actions occurred in the past is expressed having the definite time. For past actions, when the time is given, I took a breakfast at 8 a.m. today. I met him yesterday. Aringer Anna died in 1969. That is, in all these 3 examples, the time has been given. When the time is given, up an action happened in the past, we can use the simple past. So secondly, when the time is asked about, that is, when we ask the time of an action happened in the past, to put questions, we can use the simple past. When the time is asked about, when we ask about the time, when did you take the breakfast? In the previous example, I took breakfast at 8 a.m. That is a statement, but here it is a question. When did you take the breakfast? When did you meet him? When did Aringer Anna die? Here the answer would be the time 8 a.m. for the first question, yesterday for the second question, 1969 for the third question. Okay? Then third subdivision of the first use, when the action clearly took place in the past at a definite time, even though this time is not mentioned. That is, we know that an action took post in the past at a definite time. Then we need not tell the time. Then we need not mention the time here. See, the train was 10 minutes late. We know the time of the time of the train. We know. Today it was 10 minutes late. Why did you get this book? The question is, the action happened in the past. So he put the questions. Why did you get this book? That means buy this book. The answer is, I bought this book in Trichy. Even though the time has not been given here, has not been mentioned here. Without mentioning the time, you can say, we can use a simple past, provided at the time of its happening, we know well. The train was 10 minutes late. Why did you get this book? I bought this book in Trichy. Then, there is the first use with the three subdivisions. Then the second use. It is used for an action whose time is not given, but which occupied a period of time not terminated. Here the time is not given, but it is very clear that the action happened in the past. Here see the examples. Murugan worked in the bank for 5 years. That is, Murugan worked in the bank for 5 years. That is, he is not working in the bank now. Murugan worked in the bank for 5 years, but he does not work here now. Meena lived in Tirunelveli for a long time. For a long time she lived in Tirunelveli, but she does not live there now. Here the time is not given, but the actions occurred in the past. Events occurred in the past, happened in the past, but the time is not given. When the action, the occurrence of the time, the happening of the time is known well, is clear, we can express it without mentioning the time. Murugan worked in the bank for 5 years, that is, he does not work now. Meena lived in the Tirunelveli for a long time, but she does not live there now. That is only to mention the past actions. Third, second subdivision of the second use. It is used for an action occurred at a moment in a period of time now terminated. That is, the action happened in the past, but its time is not given. But it is very clear that the action is terminated. It is not going on now. The action happened in the past, and it has terminated. Now then we can say, without mentioning the time. Without mentioning the time, we could express the action occurred in the past. You see, my grandfather once saw Mahatma Gandhi. My grandfather once upon a time saw Mahatma Gandhi. Socrates was killed by the order of the court to drink poison. That is, Socrates was killed, was murdered by the indecent judiciary of the 10 Athens. The greatest man of wisdom was murdered by the indecent judiciary of 10 Athens. So Socrates was killed by the order of the court to drink poison. He was forced to drink poison and he died and finished his life himself. Okay, then Jesus Christ was crucified. The greatest man, but with a young age. He was crucified at the age of 32. From his very early life itself, he started to preach the common mass. That is, they are being swindled by the ruling persons. So he bought for the rights of the common mass. That is why the hands of power wanted to finish him, and he did that, and killed him by crucifying. He was crucified. Jesus Christ was crucified. Aringer Anna died in Chennai. The former chief minister of Tamil Nadu, the greatest man, the great man of wisdom, the greatest wise man, died in Chennai. My grandfather once saw Mahatma Gandhi. Socrates was killed by the order of the court to drink poison. Jesus Christ was crucified. Aringer Anna died in Chennai. And they are telling, now I have written here as Chennai. But English people are pronouncing this Chennai. The double consonant. Sounding the double consonant is not available in English, or sounding the double consonant is available in Tamil, but it is absent in English. That is why they are unable to sound the double consonant. Consonant phoneme. Third use. It is used for a past capit. That is the past capit of people or nature, etc. The past capit can be expressed using the simple past. He always took tea. In the past, he took tea. We don't know whether now he is taking or not. In the past, he always took tea. I never drank wine. That is, I never tasted wine. I never drank wine in the past. We often played tennis during the holidays. In the past, during our holidays, we played tennis. In the past, whenever I had time, I used to read the writings of Karl Marx. Whenever I found time, whenever I had time, I used to read the writings of Karl Marx, the greatest scientist, social scientist of communism, communal society, the greatest man, the greatest science of society, social science, his philosophy of human life, his writings, such a great man, not was, but is Karl Marx. He is. He would be spoken till the last day of the earth. So, I always took tea. I never drank tea wine. We often played tennis during the holidays. Whenever I had time, I used to read the writings of Karl Marx. Then, fourth use of the simple past. It is used in conditional type. Dear students, you know or you ought to know. If you know, doesn't matter. If you don't know, now know it. There are three kinds of conditional clauses: type 1, type 2, type 3. That is, type 1 is possible, type 2 is improbable, type 3 is impossible. See, the condition what may happen is expressed in the first type, if class. What is improbable? It is against the probability of happening, is expressed in the second type. And what cannot occur again, what cannot be done again, is expressed in the third type. The possibility is expressed in the possible type. The improbability is expressed in the second type. The impossibility is expressed in the third type. Among them, in the first type, simple past is simple present tense is used in the if class, and will or shall plus present tense used in the main class. In the second type, that is we are seeing now. In the second type, simple past is used in the if class, and would plus present tense used in the main class. In the third type, past perfect is used in the if class, and would plus have plus pp. Would have pp is used in the main class. Now we are going to see the second type, that is the main and simple past is used in the if class, and the would plus present tense is used in the main class. You see here, if you worked hard, you would get good marks. And that is, if you got, actually it is in the improbability. You can also say this verse. That is, he did not work. If you worked hard, you would get marks. Work, that means work hard. You did not work hard, you did not get marks. If he ran fast, he would catch the bus. If he ran fast, he would. If he did not run fast, then he could not catch the bus. Then that is the second type is quite important for these sentences. If I were a bird, I would fly. Improbable. If I were a bird, I would fly. Here, the verb used should be the past verb should be. I mean the plural verb. Plural past verb should be used here. No singular past verb should be used in the second type. Then the verb is action verbs other than be verbs. The past verb is the same for all persons and tense, all persons and numbers. But regarding the be verbs, there are two. For singular was, for plural were. In second type, in it plus second type, only the word, plural of the be verbs should be used. Whether the subject is singular or plural, that doesn't matter. But the be verb used should be were. Here, if I were a bird, I would fly. That is, what does it mean? I am not a bird, so I can't fly. If I were you, I would help him. Improbability. I cannot become you, and you cannot become me. If I were you, I would help. Then, if politicians were incorruptible, the living standard of people in India would be good. If our politicians were good, incorruptible, with clean hands, incorruptible means honest, the living standard of people in India would be good. If they were incorruptible, if they were honest, if they were correct and right, then the standard of people in India would be good. Then, finally, I would like to say, if I and you were loyal, if I myself and you yourself are loyal, if I and you were loyal, if I am loyal, if you are loyal, and if everyone is loyal, everything would be alright. Everyone and everything would be alright. If this means, if I and you means, if we all, on the whole, if we all are honest, respect the society, the life of other people, if we respect the decency and dignity and life of other people, everything would be all right in the society. Then the fifth use. It is used in as if, as though, plus post subjunctive to indicate unreality, impossibility, doubt in the present. The simple past is used to express the impossibility, unreality and impossibility or doubt in the present at the time of speaking. When we say, when we like to express an action, express an expectation that is not in the use, that is not real, that is not possible, then we can use simple present tense in one way. Then as if and as though. As if and as though means like, as if. That means like. That is, it is false. It is only imitation. As if and as though means as if or as though. Both means the same. It means imitation. One is imitating something that is not real. As if as though means imitating. Imitating something that is actually that is not existing. That is unreality or impossibility or doubt. Okay? Veeran behaves as if he knew everything. See, behaves simple present. But in the class, as if also class, we should use the simple past. As I told you in the class the second time. Veeran behaves as if he knew everything, but he does not know everything. Kala speaks as though she were a doctor, but she is not a doctor. See, in the implies also, whether it is singular or plural. When we come to express the impossibility or unreality, we use the plural past form of a be verb. When we come to use the be verb, in as, if, as, so, and if plus second time, we should use the plural past form of the be verb. Kala speaks as though she were a doctor, but actually she is not a doctor. You are talking as if you were the owner, but actually you are not the owner. You are talking as if you were the owner, but actually you are not the owner. It is raining as though it were the rainy season. Now it is not the rainy season. It is summer. Now it is raining as if it were the rainy season. It is raining as if it were the rainy season, but actually now it is not the rainy season. So see this four sentences again, because the uses of as if and as though are quite important. It will be highly helpful to you to express your feelings, to express your feelings. Veeran behaves as if he knew everything, but he is not but he does not know everything. Kala speaks as though she were a doctor, but actually she is not a doctor. You are talking as if you are the owner. Actually, you are not the owner. It is raining as though it were the rainy season. Actually, it is not the rainy season. It is raining as though it were the rainy season. Dear students, this use would be extremely useful and helpful to you to express your feelings. Then, use 6. It is used in time classes. That is the actions. The actions expressed using the time class. When, while, as soon as, before, after, etc. Now, here I have given something. When, while, as soon as, before, after, something I have given here. But there are so many classes of time. Here we are going to say simply these 4 or 5. First one, when and use. When and as soon as clauses. When and as soon as clauses. How we can use the simple persons in when and as soon as clauses. When two actions happen one after another in the past, the two actions are normally expressed in the simple past. The first action is normally expressed by the when clause and the second action by the main clause. That is, when two actions happen one after another in the past, the two actions are expressed in the simple past. The first action can be expressed using the when clause and the second action using the main clause. Okay, let us see. When Moran finished his work, he left the office. Finished his work, first action. Left the work, the continuous second action. So when Moran finished his work, the first action in the when clause. He left the office, main clause, second action. Similarly, I have the same for instead of when we can use as soon as. When means at the time. As soon as means immediately. That's all. As soon as Moran finished his work, he left the office. Then the second one. When she pressed the button, the bell rang. That is, as soon as she pressed the button, the bell rang. That is instead of when, we can use as soon as. So in the when clause, we can use the first action and second action in the main clause. Then B. In one, I have given some 4 items. Then when 2 actions occurred at the same time, that is in A, I have told you that the 2 past actions happened one after another. In the subdivision 1 I have told you. In subdivision B, when 2 actions occurred at the same time, if 2 actions happened at the same time, or were going on at the same time, when 2 actions happened at the same time, the 2 actions can be expressed using when clause. When my say, of course, when my father was working in a particular, I was studying in somewhere else. When my father was working in some place, I was studying that. Then these things can be expressed in simple past. When my father worked in Madurai, I studied in Madurai. Both actions occurred at the same time. My father worked and I studied. Both the things happened at the same time. When I was in college, I played tennis. When I was a student, when I was a college student, I played tennis. Both occurred at the same time. So when 2 actions occurred at the same time, both actions can be expressed using simple past tense. One in the main clause, one with the subordinate, one in the when clause and another one in the main clause. When my father worked in Madurai, I studied in Madurai. When he was in college, I played tennis. Then C subdivision in 1. When clause can be used in the main clause of the past perfect. So it is an interesting factor. That is, 2 actions happened in the past. After 2 actions, one action happened much earlier. The second action followed it, but after some time. When 2 actions occurred in the past, and after 2, the first one happened more earlier than the second one, then the first action should be expressed in the past perfect, and the second action should be expressed in the simple past. Here, that fact is being told here. And that is the when clause can be used. When clause can be used with the past perfect. That is what I explained. When Velan was a student, he had known great poverty. He had felt, when Velan was a student, he had felt the cruelty of poverty. When Velan was a student, he had known, means he had felt the cruelty of poverty. What power? What was power? Poverty, yes. So he says, when Velan was a student, he had known, he had felt great poverty. When he had felt earlier, that was going on. The poverty he had experienced not only when he was a student, but before the time of his speaking. When India was under the rule of the British, it had faced many difficulties. the two actions. Not so. The entire period of the British rule in India, the people of India, India means the people of India, faced great difficulties. So the British, when India was under the rule of the British, it had failed. India, it means India, the people of India had faced many difficulties. Then it is used, so when glass can be used with the main glass or the past perfect. Then it is used when one action finished while another one was going on, continuing. That is, in the B, in the A and B, when two actions happen, one followed another. In the second example, I have given you the two actions happening at the same time in the past. In the third one, I have explained to you that the past perfect can be used in the main class. When class can be used with past perfect of the main class. I have clearly explained that to you. Now, third one is when two actions happen in the past. One action two actions happen in the past. When two actions were going on in the past, one action finished, terminated, and the second action was going on. Two actions were happening in the past. When one action finished, the second one was going on. When one action finished and the second action was going on in the past, the finished action should be used in the when class, and the continuing action should be expressed using the main class. See that when I met Anbalagan, he was working in a bank. Once I met Anbalagan. When I met him, he was working as a teacher. He was working as in a bank. That's all. When we left home, our mother was cooking. So that is yesterday. My mother was cooking. We left home. So the simple past is put in the when class, and the present and the past continues in the main class. When we left home, our mother was cooking. The second one, the sixth use. You see, while class. What is the use of the while class? What is the difference between when and use? You see, when two actions happened in the past, after two actions, one action finished first and another action was going on, continuing. In such case, the finished action normally is expressed by the when class, and the continuing action was normally expressed by the main class. When we left home, our mother was cooking. But when we come to use of the while, the past and the continuing action is expressed using the while class, and the simple past tense used by the main class. Regarding when class, the finished action is used, completed action is used using when class, is expressed using when class, and the continuing action is expressed using main class. In while class, the reverse is the case. The continuing action is expressed using while class, and the finished completed action is used main class. Here, while I was sleeping, a heavy thunder awoke me. I was sleeping yesterday. Then a strong thunder awoke me, made me to wake. So while class past continuous, main class simple past. While I was working as a teacher, when I worked as a teacher, while I was working as a teacher, I had to meet various types of students. When I worked, when I was working at the time of working, when I worked as a teacher, when I was working as a teacher, we can express in either way. While I was working as a teacher, I had to meet various types of students. Also, main class with the past perfect is possible, as in the case of in class. Here also we can use a while class with the past perfect of the main class, as in the case of them. We can use the while class also. While I was working as a teacher, I had met various types of students. Both the way you can express. Then, third one. After this, so see here an interesting factor. That is, here I am going on to talk about. That is, as I have already explained to you, of the two actions happened in the past, one action completed. So two actions happened in the past. Of the two, one action happened earlier, and another action followed it. When there is between time or not, that doesn't matter. When two actions happened in the past, the first action happened sometime earlier, and the second action sometime later, or one after another, whatever the case it may be. Whether there was a long time between the two actions happened in the past, or there is no time for the first one and the second one. The second action followed the first action, that doesn't matter. Here we can use when class, after class, and before class. Of these two actions, when we use the when class, the second action should be used. Of the two actions happened in the past, one happened first. The first action should be expressed in the past perfect, and the second action in the simple past. It is the main rule. When there is enough of time, or one action followed the other, that doesn't matter. The first action should be used using the past perfect, and the second action should be expressed using simple past. Here, the simple past can be expressed using when clause or before clause. When he finished his work, he left the office. Before he left the office, when he left the office, he got finished his work. Simple. When he left the office, he got finished his work. Before he left the office, he had finished the work. When and before, simple past. The main class past perfect. But in the use of after class, the first action, past perfect, should be expressed using the after class, and the second action, the simple past, should be expressed using the main class. Valen finished his work. He left office. When Valen when the two actions happened in the past, the first action should be expressed using the past perfect, and the second action should be expressed using the simple past. In the when clause and before clause, simple past should be used, and the past perfect, the action happened in the first, should be expressed in the past perfect. So now you say, when Valen left office, he had finished his work. before Vernon left the office, he had finished his work. If we want to use the after class here, the reverse should be the case. As in the case of when and while. The past perfect, the first action, the past perfect should be expressed using the after class, and the past tense should be expressed using the main class. After Valen had finished his work, he left the office. This is the when, before, and after. This is the case. Again, when two actions happened in the past and there is enough of gap between the two actions, or one action is followed the other, that doesn't matter. We can use this type of class. The first action should be expressed using the past perfect, and the second action should be expressed using the simple past. When use these two actions, we can use when clause, before clause, or after clause. When we come to use the when clause and before clause, the action happened secondly, that is the simple past, should be expressed using the when clause or before clause. And the action happened first, that is past perfect, should be expressed using the main clause. And if we come to use after clause, the action happened in the past, that is past perfect, should be expressed using the after clause. And the action happened in the and action happened secondly, should be expressed using the main clause. Again, when Valen left the office, he had finished his work. Before Valen left the office, he had finished his work. After class, after Valen finished his work, he left the office. This is the case. Okay? Dear students, teachers, here I have explained what are the uses of the simple past, where they can function independently, and where they can, the simple past can function with past continuous or past perfect. For all these things I have explained here. Dear students, kindly take notice of it. It is very, very important. I thank all of you for keenly listening to my class. In the next class, we will see what is past continuous, and what are its uses. We will see in the following classes. Till then, I wish all of you a very nice and sweet time. Thank you.